On May the 6th, 2010, at 1400 hours, 42 minutes and 44 seconds, the US stock markets go into free fall. Dow Jones takes the fastest and most dramatic nosedive in its history, an event that will be remembered as the flash crash.
Where are you on May 6, 2010?
Here working.
May 6, 2010. Yes, I was here.
I spent all day, literally locked away on holiday, looking at the British general election.
10:53, so 90 handles? That's too much. That's way too much.
I was on a conference call with a potential investor. One eye on the market, one eye on my own profits and losses, and then my ears and mouth doing whatever else they have to do. And the market's basically looks like it's going to go to hell that day.
It was the first really down day that we had in a while. And I remarked to Dave, let's just stay on top of this because this could get really ugly.
So 40 minutes in, we're in the middle of a great conversation, and he says, look, I got to go. We'll talk again. This was really interesting, but I have to go now. And I watched the market fall another, 2 or 3% from there.
It wasn't just minutes later. It was Armageddon.
Here you go. I'm told it's 835. The Dow ticker. Wow, almost 1,000 points. We call this a capitulation.
I was just opening up my computer, like most everybody, and going, oh my God.
I'm shouting to my colleagues because I have a giant TV in my office gawking at the screen. Like when the Dow hit nearly down 1,000 points, you're like, really?
87 evens are trading, 86 evens are trading, 85 evens are trading here now, guys, all the way down.
And people didn't know why it was happening. And there was rumor after rumor after rumor, and it kept on getting worse.
I saw that panic, I think then I started watching CNN or one of those channels. So.
What we're seeing right now, I mean, I believe maybe unprecedented. You're not talk about capitulation. Let's take a look at P&G.
They're going to probably halt trading. We can't stop the selling.
I don't think I found out about this in real time, so this was probably a half an hour later or an hour later. There's nothing that one can do in the middle of the day, so there's no button that we press that says, hey, stop what's going on, so the markets are going to move the way that the markets move.
It just didn't fit the facts that there was some big global news story. It looked more like an error or a bad price. That's what it looked more like at first.
And then it got magically better. And nobody had seen a recovery that quick either.
It was a little bit like seeing someone hit by a car, or you see some terrible motorcycle accident, the guy must totally be dead, and the person gets up and walks away.
No, the market didn't work. It broke down. The machines broke down. That's what happened. Procter was never at 47.
That to me is the mystery. I mean, I think it really, we don't understand these things. This is really the earliest form of digital financial instrument.
George Dyson is a historian who has just completed a decade of research into the development of one of the first computers.
What I'm doing now is carving the data into this stick. This notch represents 100 pounds of gold. These go back to the 12th century. And these smaller, there's a 20 pounds and 10 pounds. Now it breaks into two pieces that are unique. This part stays with the exchequer, with the king's treasury. The person who brought the money keeps this part, which is of course called the stock, and that's the origin of the word we still use of owning stock in something. So if you put money in your bank or something, you're essentially getting a number that is uniquely matched to the money that's in the bank. And if you come back and say, I want my money, you get it. So it's the same principle, it's just moving a whole lot faster.
On the morning of May the 6th, the sun rises in Asia and all is still quiet on the financial markets. But the British elections and the continuing concerns about the Greek financial crisis are causing anxiety. When the American exchanges open, prices are under pressure. At 2:45 p.m, many shares, including those of Apple, Accenture and Procter & Gamble, collapse.
So you've got the general picture, the big picture, although it's still over a very short time scale, and then you've got the detailed picture of the individual trades. See, there's a little bump there. That's almost the more natural scale, whereas even here at this level, it's something that seems to be quite big. So there are some trades that are kind of normal, and then there's yes, funny, these big, you're right, these are really big, aren't they?
So can you explain this?
You can explain it.
Paul Wilmot is a mathematician and quant who is privy to the algorithms used by the automated systems driving the financial markets.
The thing that's sort of easier to explain is in the zoomed out scale, and you can see this nice falling off a cliff and then bouncing back up thing. What's harder is these spikes, the trades happening down here, but every now and then there's something up there, which is
and the differences are in nanoseconds.
Enormous differences. But what's causing it? I don't know what's causing it. But this one it starts off at 42 and it goes all the way down to 1 cent. Lord above, it's amazing. It is better to fail conventionally than to succeed unconventionally.
Wilmot gives classes to traders, hedge fund managers and bankers. For years, he has warned about the dangers of an algorithm-induced collapse of the financial markets.
Oh my gosh, I turned away when that happened. So who is it selling Accenture at 5 cents?
It has to be a machine, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, they're just rocketing back and forth between.
Yeah.
Only a machine can do those, right?
Any thoughts of what's going on here?
Steve Jobs didn't die. There's no reason for Apple to be falling to zero.
Right.
And so they start trading, and then, I mean, the back up in, 7.5 minutes or something, it was incredible. And that couldn't have been people not reacting that quickly and not in that kind of volume.
Well, one key thing is how automated is all of this, all of these trades? Can you identify that this was caused by some black box thing, or was it somebody in the old-fashioned way, picking up a phone, etc., and making a trade? I've got in my head a scenario where there are no people at all anymore. There are black boxes, and they're really clever black boxes designed by famous banks that we won't name, and not so clever black boxes. And one day, the clever black boxes decide to stop trading because they don't like the numbers that are coming in, leaving you with the quite dumb black boxes that'll do basically anything. Accenture should not be selling at a couple of cents. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense at all. So if you're just left with a bunch of dumb black boxes, they could be doing anything.